Hey folks, Nick here from another BookTube channel, and today I'll be talking a little bit about the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. I was a staunch physical book reader only for pretty much my entire life. Back, I would say like 7 years ago when I was working at Barnes& and Noble, it's probably 8 years ago, I tried ebooks once. I bought the Barnes& and Noble Nook tablet. I read one book on it, and I decided that it was not for me. I didn't really enjoy looking at it. It kind of hurt my eyes, and I just, you know what? This isn't what I enjoy about a book. I prefer the physical paper in my hands. I I like to have a bookmark so I can see my actual progress as it's moving along. So I avoided ebooks and other tablets for a really long time. But for some reason, I changed my mind, or I decided to give it another shot earlier this year. So in February, I bought myself the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. Mainly, I think the impetus behind that was my bookshelves at home. I don't have a ton of space where I live, so bookshelf space is the real estate prices are going up for my bookshelves. So I really like those shelves are going to be dedicated to stuff that I really want to own and must own. Uh, and it just wasn't practical to keep just buying new books all the time. So I thought, all right, if I could just get ebook versions of them, of stuff that's maybe also not able to be got at the library physically, in an easy way, maybe ebooks would be the way to go. So I splurged and I got the signature edition, and it's been a little over 3 months now, and I wanted to just kind of give my thoughts about what the experience has been like as a primarily physical book reader for my entire life. And I have really enjoyed using this Kindle, honestly. I made a very conscious decision to not get another tablet because I think one of the main issues I had with the Nook tablet was the fact that it was just like a big phone screen, and I think it was like hurting my eyes. And I know you could adjust like brightness settings and all things like that, but I just I look at computer screens all day for work. I look at my phone screen when I'm slacking from work. So I don't just want another screen to have to look at. And so the Paperwhite gets around that because it has a very soft paper-like screen, and it's a lot easier on the eyes. So you don't get color in here. If you ever look at a book with illustrations, I wouldn't recommend comic books on this. Um, but just as it is, it functions exactly as advertised in terms of being easy on the eyes and being an easy reading experience. The actual hardware itself, I'm really impressed with. It's a very responsive device. I've never had any issues with internet connections or getting the books that I need to download quickly. Um, Navigating it is very smooth, and the battery life is fantastic. I've had it for 3 months, and I've read about I think 12 books on here, and some really long ones. I've read a Malazan book on here. I read Boy's Life on here. So some long books, and I've only had to charge this twice in that time. So really great battery life. Can't recommend it enough for that alone. Just to not have to worry about this dying on you, if you're traveling or doing something. I also do like the convenience that this offers to be able to read in more situations where I previously was not able to. I like to read before bed a lot, but when I have to do that, I need a lighting source, behind me, basically like a night light behind me that can illuminate the page. I have to sit up to be able to do it comfortably. Otherwise, I just have the book kind of over me, and it's a little clunky and weird. It's a bit uncomfortable. But with this, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I could just reach over to my nightstand, grab it, and just flip it open. And I don't, it because of how lightweight it is and because of how thin it is, I can just read it. And because it's backlit, obviously, I can read it in any lighting condition. So I can read more often. It's also a lot easier to pick up. It's easy to travel with because of how light it is. So I've had to travel for work a couple of times, and this really came in handy there. Um, so definitely has some benefits over physical books in that way. This edition is also waterproof. The signature edition is waterproof. I haven't used it in water yet, but I do really like the idea that if I wanted to, be lounging in the pool and reading, I can comfortably have this in there and not worry about my fingers being a little damp and ruining the pages. So again, another way that this encourages you to read in more situations that you previously were not able to. The other concern I had, which is that feeling of liking to see my progress, the physical bookmark moving as it goes. This does offer some ways to kind of replicate that feeling. Most books, if you're getting them, if you're purchasing ebooks, or if you're getting them from the library, they'll usually have the page number in the bottom, along with what I really like, the percentage of the book you've completed. Not every book has that. If you're using if you're using like Libby, the library app, I have found that some books don't have page numbers, but they will have time indicators, like time left in chapter, because it determines your reading speed based on how quickly you're flipping through the pages. And it tells you, okay, this chapter you've got another 5 minutes. It's also got time left in book, so you can see how far you enter the book that way. It's not that exact feeling of seeing that bookmark progress physically, but I actually have found myself enjoying that quite a bit, especially if I only have maybe 10 minutes and I want to cram in some reading time. I can see, do I have enough time for this chapter? And if it says, 9 minutes left in chapter, great. I know I've got plenty of time to do it. So yeah, overall, as a physical book lover, I'm not abandoning physical books. I still am buying them and I'm still reading them. But as a supplement, when there's a book that you don't want to have to physically own and you just want to read it and move on, I do really recommend the Kindle Paperwhite edition. The tablets I wouldn't do, because also with the tablets you've got internet and stuff and distractions. There's no distractions on here. It's a book reading machine, and so am I. So I really like this specific one. So I recommend the Paperwhite. Even if you are a physical book lover, I think that this is a good supplement for that. So that's it. I hope this product review helped you in some way if you were considering making the jump to an e-reader. If you have this device or you've used it before, let me know if your experience was similar, or if there's anything that you didn't like about it that maybe people should be aware of. Let us know in the comments. Thank you for spending some time with me today, but now it's time to get back to reading.